On January 8, 2011, a leak was discovered at Pump Station 1 in Prudhoe Bay, the start of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline.
Rick says, "Hey, John, we got a problem." And I said, "Oh, what's the nature of the problem, Rick?" And he said, "Well, we got a leak into the pump room, and I've called OCC, and we're shutting down the pipeline."
Just 7 days earlier, Tom Barrett began his position as president of Alyeska Pipeline Service Company.
Although I was new on the job here, I've been fortunate or unfortunate in the sense that I've dealt with crisis response in other capacities. So the incident management system, this type of setup was not unfamiliar to me, although the particular problem was.
So when we understood and learned where the leak was, again, there was a lot of concern about, okay, how are we going to fix it? How are we going to stop it?
In addition to the leak, the shutdown created other problems for the pipeline.
The other concern immediately for my teams were winter operation, cold temperatures up north, what happens to the cooling of the oil?
With that comes a whole lot of problems. You have potential for ice buildup in low spots. You have potential for ice to get into the valves.
Further still, 2 pigs were now trapped in the pipeline.
If that pig stopped in a low point where water drops out, then could the pig freeze in the line?
So we started mobilizing all of our logistics folks, our primary contractors, all pitched in.
It was determined that the damaged pipe was located underground, encased in concrete, and the leak could be contained in the booster pump building.
We knew there was no access to it, so our only option was to bypass around it.
Once the leak was really understood, there was not a huge risk to personnel safety or the environment. And so now it became risk to pipeline operation.
We decided that we needed to bring the line up on a temporary basis while we managed the leak, which was very tough.
While the pipeline ran temporarily to keep ice from forming, a bypass line was fabricated to circumnavigate the leak.
We all worked together to find a routing for the piping, to install new piping to get the pumps up and running on a new flow path. And once we agreed on how we were going to do it, then the fab shop, they began to work in 24/7, fabricating, hydro testing, x-raying, painting.
That took us about 5 days to get the fabrication done from the time we had determined what the fix was going to be.
At the same time, a creative solution was implemented to capture a pig still trapped in the line.
Pump 8 has a great place to launch a pig. Now, it wasn't set up to receive a pig. And, this goes back to the innovation and creation of the engineering teams and the pipeline organization and my team. How do you capture a pig in a spool piece that wasn't intended to be utilized that way?
After the pipeline was restarted, we brought the pig into Pump Station 8 and assisted OCC in bringing that in. Something we had not done in the past, so something new for everybody.
The pipeline was shut down a second time to install the bypass piping, after which the pipeline restarted. Throughout the process, there were no injuries, accidents, or damage to the environment.
That was our main goal, was to try to get the line back up, and the safety of our employees and the safety of taps and the environment is the paramount issue for us.
It was a restart that we've never had before. In all our history, we have never shut down in the winter for that long under these conditions.
People worked long hours, days on end to bring this thing to a successful conclusion.
It's amazing the amount of work that was done with integrity, with safety, with precision, because it all worked the first time.
Through this incident, we did work in a week or two. Would normally take us months to plan for something like this. We ended up doing it in about 11 days.
We have some good people in this company. I mean, all the groups, safety, environmental, engineering, projects, upper management, everybody.
And these Alaskans did an extraordinary job under some very tough circumstances to restart this line safely. So I was very proud of that, and it was very much a team effort. It took a lot of push, whether it was people finding parts in the warehouses or doing the welding in 20 below, doing the design work for a very innovative solution set.
That I-can-do attitude and pride in responding to an incident to keep the system safe, and you all stepped to the plate, and with the great creative thinking and execution of that. I think I'm just very, very proud of the response, and I want to just thank you again for that hard work.